Gan Shalom Akim. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akim, spread its truth and sincerity. Shalom. In this video, I want to go into this article on endtimeheadlines.org, which reads, California takes moves to embrace cryptocurrency and regulate it. It says California, which has an economy larger than all but 4 countries, and where much of the world's technological innovation is born, on Wednesday became the first state to formally begin examining how to broadly adapt to cryptocurrency and related innovation. So California, is the first state within America to actually, find, and research and look for ways to eventually implement the cryptocurrency, within the economy, make cryptocurrency a way of payment, within society, which the scriptures talk about how, the beast, which is even the native, would eventually prepare the way, to cause everybody to eventually receive the mark of the beast, which is the RFID technology, and this is a way towards that. It says, following a path laid out by President Joe Biden in March, Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order for state agencies to move in tandem with the federal government to craft regulations for digital currencies. It also calls for officials to explore incorporating broader blockchain computer coding into government operations. Evolving blockchain and cryptocurrency technology is potentially an explosive creator of new companies and new jobs and new opportunities, said Dee Myers, a senior advisor to Newsom and director of the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. So they say it's eventually going to be, beneficial, to create more job opportunities, etc., etc. So it says, so there are a lot of opportunities, she said. There's a lot of unknowns in the industry, and so that's another reason we want to engage early. Newsom order says the state, home to Silicon Valley and financial innovators like PayPal and Square, should be out front and figure out how to adopt to new technologies. Too often government lags behind technological advancements, so we're getting ahead of the curve on this laying a foundation to allow for consumers and business to thrive. So they want to be the first one, to be really occupying themselves with this, to be the first state doing this. It says California has about 39 million residents, and its economy is more than 3.1 trillion, larger than the United Kingdom and India. Newsom said his order is a step toward making it the nation's first state to establish a comprehensive, thoughtful, and harmonized regulatory and business environment for crypto assets. Cryptocurrencies, which are built on blockchain database technology, have exploded in popularity in recent years. About 16% of United States adults have invested in, traded, or used cryptocurrencies, and the percentage is much higher among younger men. Biden's executive order, in part, asks the Federal Reserve to consider whether it should create its own digital currency. So that's also something that's being considered, with the Federal Reserve, should create an own digital currency, but the point is, the cryptocurrency is something that's being spoken about by these different governments, these different countries, and in America, California is the forerunner, within the United States, and like I mentioned, the beast, which is the EU and NATO, will eventually cause all, to receive that MOTB, which Revelation chapter 13 verse 16 says, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And the mark is referring to the RFID microchip or the NFC chip. If you look at the word caused, it's poeo in the Greek, which one of the outlines of biblical usage is to make ready or to prepare, which that's going into how this society is being prepared and groomed, you know, being made ready actually to eventually receive that RFID microchip technology. And the cryptocurrency is part of that. If we, you know, uh, closely examine the evolution of money, we see that, in ancient times, cattle was used or barter, things that had a certain value that were traded, with each other. Gold was another way of people to pay for certain things, for commodities. Eventually, the gold and the silver was turned into metal coins, which, they lost their intrinsic value, which means that the value on the coin itself was, appraised higher than the actual value of that metal coin. It's the same for the paper money. The paper money, the value of the paper money is worthless. But because we esteem it to be $100, €100, or whatever, it is accepted within our society as being uh, a method of payment. You know, the same with the plastic cards. The plastic cards, that money holds no value at all because it's an actual, digital number, within a system. Same with electronic money, you know. But eventually, all these things, are going to be done away with, and cryptocurrency is going to be the way of payment, And we don't know precisely how that's going to shape within the future, but through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, these things will be revealed in due time. We're warning our people. We're talking about, this coming upon the earth. Just like it says in Ezekiel chapter 33, concerning the watchman that needs to warn. It says the watchman's duty, and the watchmen are the servants, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So the watchmen are being compared to those that are set up to watch for danger and bring it out and warn the people. It says referring to the servants, the prophets. Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord Yahawah came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of that people, and say unto them, When I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. And the watchman is synonymous for the prophet. We're warning our people, man. Back in the days, they actually set up watchmen, to warn the people. But in a spiritual sense, we are those watchmen. If when he see the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. And that's what we're doing. The sword, represents destruction, represents, killing, represents calamity and evil time. We're seeing these things, we're foreseeing it as well through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yoshai, through the scriptures, through the things that we're seeing happening upon this earth. We're warning our people. 4, verse 4. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, they hear the words that we're speaking, we're warning them, they might see our videos, they might, catch the names of what we're saying at the camp. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, they don't take heed to what we're saying, they just go on with their lives, they don't regard the fact that we're telling them that this technology is coming, it's going to be inserted within your skin, and that's going to be you bowing down your allegiance to Esau Edom. And eventually it's going to be your downfall and destruction, pursuant to Revelation, the 14th chapter, starting at verse 9 and 10. Verse 4, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. You see, so eventually, if this technology comes, the evil comes, he's being caught, you know, off guard, or he is being faced with the situation, and he still takes that, RFID microchip, then his blood shall be upon his own head. Verse 5, he heard the sound of the trumpet, and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. So those people that do listen to us, that do take heed to what we're saying concerning this technology coming, you know, because I'm bringing out a video in which California takes move to embrace cryptocurrency and regulate it, which is all preparations towards the RFID microchip. But if those people do take warning of it, and eventually don't take it and be aware of the fact that this is coming, they shall deliver their own soul and they are able to save their life. Verse 6, but if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watcher's hand. So if you have someone that knows about this truth, that knows about this technology, that knows what's coming upon this earth in general, but he doesn't speak about it, you know, and the people, um, get taken by it, then the blood's going to be upon the watcher's hand, man. It's going to be upon the man that knew these things, but he didn't want the people, didn't talk about it. You see, verse 7, see, O son of man, I've set thee a watchman to the house of Israel. You see? So a comparison is being made, and eventually, that watchman, that was set up back in the days in a physical sense, we're in a spiritual sense being set up as watchmen as well. Watching what's happening upon this earth and bringing out the warnings and edifications to the people. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. See, so we have to warn our people, man, because we are made um, prophets, you know, and we have to speak those words towards our people. Of course, we're also, prophets unto the nations, because we have to tell those people what their future is going to be as well. This is second Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy which I will put in their mouth, said the Lord Yahawah. You see, so we have to prophesy, which means say before it's going to happen, to our people, to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Eventually also those that, look like heathen nations, but those nations does go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because they're still Israelites. You see, but we have to speak those words to the Heavenly Father, which are contained in the Scriptures. We have to tell them about it, which includes this technology that's coming upon the earth. You see, back to Revelation 13 and 16, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And eventually an ultimatum is going to be, an ultimatum has to be made, because the way that this society is moving, the way it's being prepared, you're not able to participate in this society if you don't partake, in that RFID technology. You're not able to partake in that in that sense, you see, because everything's going to be evolved around that, which that's part of the image of the beast, which refers to the way that this society is being set up. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. You see, so you're not able to partake in the society, man. And that mark is going into the chip in the hand or the chip in the brain, you know, because on that chip, the information is able to be stored, to do away with your wallet, your identification, your medical information, your financial information, your bank, basically your bank account, You know, things are going to revolve around that, man, because we're in the fourth industrial revolution, which is the merging of man with machine to basically improve, um, so-called improve, the human body. But in actuality, what is happening is Esau, trying to be like the Most High, because in order for them to obtain the same characteristics of the Heavenly Father, to be, omnipotent, all knowing, also being all present, they have to use technology for that, man. Otherwise, it's not possible for them. Verse 18, here's wisdom, let him that understanding count the number of the beast, for this the number of a man, and his number is 600 three score and six. And the 666, can be found upon those barcodes. The barcodes that are not numbered, those bars, they're supposed to be sixes there, which goes into 666. If you go into the word stigma, in the Greek, which that's the number six. Let me see where it is. The word stigma, which means to stick. Um, it says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. Ancient Oriental usage. Slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to, and there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with a token of their gods. So this shows you that you're bowing down and giving allegiance to Esau, man, by cutting something within your skin, to show that you're okay with the ways of the society. And let me see what the word stigma, because it said, I think I said it means six. Let me see what it. But I don't think it means six at all. Um, no, it doesn't mean six. Let me see. I can find a stigma as like yes, yeah. Uh, stigma number meaning it means the number six. The stigma is a ligature of the Greek letter sigma and tau, which was used in writing Greek writing between the Middle Ages and the 19th century. It is also used as a numeral symbol for the number six. Because it's like tri-size stigma, which is 600 three square and six. So yeah, I wanted to get that out there for correctness sake. You see, so yeah, man, these things are coming. The way that the society is moving, man, is all towards this mark of the beast, which that's going to be the ultimatum, and that's going to be the test of tests, man. What is it? Revelation 2, uh, 3. No, no, this is Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, there does that be us that is able to go through the sufferings and endure. You know, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which will come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And this is going to be the time in which they're going to institute the technology, man. Right now, it's not there yet, but we do see the steps that are being taken to eventually receive it. So, here does that we be kept from that because here does that we endure in His truth. We keep our faith, Lord willing. But that hour of temptation is coming, man, and that's going into them really you know institutionalizing or instituting, or I don't know what that word actually think it's institutionalizing. Let me say it different. Implement. When they really implement this technology and that there's no way around it, for you to partake within the society, if you don't have it, and even if you try to uh, partake in society without it, there are going to be consequences in it, man. Because Revelation 13, verse 15 also says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And the image of the beast is referring to the way that the society is being set up. And we see that it's being moved towards receiving and implementing that RFID technology. If you're not down with that, if you don't partake in that, you know, time is gonna come that you're gonna be killed. So here it is how we be kept from that, even though we also understand that some of us are gonna have to, face such things. You know, we're gonna be faced with death. Some of us are going to have to be, you know, put to death or die within this truth. But we're also being comforted throughout the scriptures concerning those that do have to die in this truth, which that's a whole nother lesson within itself. So yeah, man, Yahawashi, this lesson was edifying. And I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of great Millstone who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading truth and sincerity.